Happy Sunday. What's going on? I was kind of wait for people to kind of roll in. This kind of that part of the live where I talk to myself. I didn't even set it up early. I just kind of clicked it and go live. Usually kind of set it up for a little bit. Get the notifications out. Let's just break down some things. That's something I'm gonna a couple stuff I'm gonna get into. I actually have almost like kind of like a half day off, so I definitely see this as an opportunity. But on that note, definitely happy Sunday. Happy holidays. It was a holiday. Not quite seeing anyone in chat. But yeah, so the title is Happy Sunday. And I put in plans in air quotes for a reason. Welcome to Envy Cat. You got a first. You're first. I will confirm this person is actually first. And red button issue. Like the red button thing. Please wear your beanies and leave sketchers at the door. Yeah, definitely. And I don't know. I mean, so aside from, happy holidays and happy Sunday and all that, hope everyone's doing well. Well, actually, I just can't hope my people are doing well. I don't really care about the other people. But I guess kind of the first thing I want to get into, and this is almost kind of a reason that I just kind of didn't even want to go live anymore. Or, like if I do put something out, I'll just kind of put something out, is because it's kind of like my rule. As soon as people are operating on bad faith, then there's really no point to talking to them or engaging with them anymore. Like that's a true thing. And it's kind of like, even if you clarify, even if you add, information to the situation, like you actually give your side of the story and that's just disregarded and they just still kind of run with how they feel things went down. I'm kind of just like, there's really no point. Like I want to talk to that kind of person or persons, and probably like the biggest thing is like the red button issue. So like, one, where did that even come from? It came from when, so I was in the locksmith server. I think it was like a gilded server for a period of time, right? Where I think it was about modding. I don't remember how long I was in there. That is way too big of an ask to for me to remember any of that information. But it was right after, it was at least post when the first part of the ed paperwork dropped. So already there's this tone of, not taking the issue of CP seriously. CP, child abuse material. Pretty serious stuff. And I think I don't know what led to me leaving. I don't remember that either, but I did. And yeah, I recall someone came out with a screenshot of, I think like Telly read it out. Locksmith saying, it appears someone is sending CP in the server. I don't have the quote in front of me, so I don't know, but something that would sound very alarming. Now, I don't know. Someone said something about a certain word should have been in quotes, and it wasn't like as serious as it should have been. But my whole point of that, here's the origin and the actual point of the red button is that I just feel that like CP and stuff like that should be dealt with the same level of seriousness as if like your house is burning down. And that pretty much like once you're, you know, kind of like once it's even remotely in your peripheral space, that it should be kind of out of our hands at this point. I mean, that's kind of true with any catcher too. Like if a Fred sends you CP, at that point you're just at that point reporting it to the police. So yeah, I kind of had a crash out, and that crash out's on Haystack, and it's to a pretty good beat, you know, pretty good production value on that. But yeah, my whole point is that it's really over CP, but then it's almost kind of like they're saying, "Where's the red button on this? Where's the red button on that?" And it's almost like, am I supposed to have the red button on littering? Am I supposed to have the red button on? I mean, this uniquely just applied to CP. And then almost kind of like this being framed as, well, you didn't like Locksmith or you disagree with Locksmith on some stuff, so that's why you freaked out like that. Okay, but about what? About what? It was about CP. So it's kind of this position that I overreacted, and that's actually exactly what I wanted to get into. Is that I over like is it's like this position that I overreacted on the red button thing, but I underreacted with the Shifty and the zoom thing. That's actually precisely what I wanted to get into. Is if you want to argue that I guess if you want to argue that that I did, I don't know. I guess if someone wanted to argue, that's something Kelly said. I don't even agree with it, but that I kind of I handled the Shifty situation, I guess, like I should, right? And I overreacted with the red button thing. That could be argued as an inconsistent position, but it's not even a coherent position to say that I overreacted with the red button thing, but I underreacted with the Shifty thing. And again, like this is the exact fact pattern of what happened with the Shifty thing. All right. So a year ago, whenever it was, I've not changed my story, and I do not have good enough of a memory to change my story like that, or to, yeah. Um, he said some weird story, and this is all I had to go off of, was something about his daughter, and I think the word sexually assault was used to him, which at a certain point was just a weird story. And then pretty much, I remember like once I asked more questions, I think there wasn't any answers to them, and it kind of got like shut down. I think that was because of possibly how I was reacting to it, to the best of my memory. Right. So then, I'm kind of having this weird, thing I'm sticking with in my head about this, for a while. It didn't quite click. It's not like as blatant as the owner of a server is saying the CP is being traded. It's kind of just like something not sounding right that I have to think about. And so then I remember shortly after, there was some kind of like emergency Zoom because I did want to talk about it. And basically, here's kind of the thinking is at the time, at least, I would have trusted that everyone would have done the right thing in the Zoom that I was in. And if they heard something like actually way off the handle, then we would have all discussed it and probably did what we needed to do about it. But then not only that, there was a very short period of time where actually he just made that comment and then he left the server. Okay. And here's kind of another thing is a lot of times it was like played that like me and Shifty were like on the same panel and it was like, oh, so this was after that conversation. And this was after that conversation and he's still just like chumming it up with them. Okay, big disclaimer. That was before. So sorry I wasn't able to predict the future and that someone would say something weird later in a Zoom. It was before. And it was really only a small window of opportunity to where anything could be done before he actually left the server or anything like that. After that happened. So that is the information I'm operating with. All right. So that's one thing. Yeah, no, I mean, all I'm doing is I'm saying the exact same story, exactly how it went down, But here's the thing. In the Zoom, I'm kind of trusting that everyone would, kind of have an adequate response if there was something to it, right? But I only found out when I met up with PHI about the jerking off story, and I guess that was said to Clown. Now, that was not said to me. Like, if anything, I got that information secondhand by PHI. I did not hear Shifty say that his daughter jerked him off. I did not hear Shifty say that. And there's a big difference because maybe I would have freaked out or something if I heard that. No, I didn't. You can go listen. You can go back. You can clip me. You can do that. I've said the same thing. Like when I found out about the jerking off thing or whatever, that was something that PHI told me. The only thing I heard for a year was some weird story about his daughter doing something to him. And after, while having confidence with the people in the Zoom, that if they actually heard something, if there was more to whatever this was, that they would have done something about it and we would have figured it out on what to do. But as you can kind of see, no one really did much and that trust was misplaced. Well, I mean, you can't conflate the two because on one hand, it's a weird story about the daughter sexually assaulting him, and then I don't know, need to be sent away or whatever it is, and something PHI is saying to me based on secondhand information. Zoom thing was a bystander effect. I was shocked, but not the only one. So why didn't the other people say something? Yeah, and that's kind of what it is. And I hope those same people that are coming with the same amount of outrage about that is like saying that I don't know, I should have done more. If they're like on that side or whatever, and they're saying that I should have done more, I hope they're gonna be saying the same thing to Tommy because like he overheard people in the Philippines like doing sexual things to kids. I mean, I don't know if you're making a pun, but I have to. I don't know another word to refer to secondhand. Yeah, in the Advidian thing is like extra ridiculous. It's like Sabi, like it's very well known that Sabi was the biggest supporter of Ed during that time, and that she's all over the place. So like, talk about like Edvidians and then having Sabi there is just, I mean, but it's not shocking because of all the crazy shit that I hear, people say, it doesn't lead me to think that like the actual truth and actual morality actually means anything. Like, I think people are just saying things to say them. But yeah, but the fact is, I could have said it a billion times. I could keep saying this quite literally a billion times, you know, but they'll kind of always keep implying that I heard the Shifty thing firsthand, like from him saying it, and, as if I was protecting that story for a year and just sat on it and was on panels, even though that's contrary to what provably is the case. So, what can be done about it at this point? Like, seriously, say what I should do. Something's kind of vague. But it's also kind of like where the red button thing turned into kind of this like meme of just me being like this like aggressive hall monitor or something. But if you go back, the issue is child abuse material. I think any citizen should freak out at that issue. I'm definitely for something happening on it. I'm just not clear on what I could do at the moment. Doesn't mean I wouldn't if there's a clear plan, but I just don't know what I could do. And I don't think it'd be a good idea to say that kind of plan here. But I'm just kind of re-saying what I've always said before. And it's like, yeah, as far as like people, I don't know, like getting in trouble in other kind of ways, especially drugs. Like, I don't even see that as an issue or whatever, or whatever it is. There's no need for a red button. You know, like, I don't want to be one of those people looking up criminal records, being like, "Oh, we got to hit the red button. Someone had DUI in 2007." No. Okay, but here's the thing. Art, I hope you're applying that to every single person in Zoom. Because if you're not, then I don't take that concern seriously. And the only thing I could have done, this was actually like my plan where I tried it once and it didn't work, would be, I guess, getting him to say something in a one party state, which was going to be Rhode Island. Okay, Child Protective Services, she don't live with him. Yeah, if she, do you guys think she lived with him? No. So like she was sent away. So there's no CPS. He's not the parent. She's not living with them. Yeah, if she was living, yeah, bro, come on. Like if she was living with them, then obviously that would have been done. Yeah, no, she's not living with them. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm definitely saying like the kind of like the restreaming and then the doxing and all that bullshit does need to be burned down. But you know, like have an actual good substantive lives. That's what I want to see happen. I mean, well, also, how did I not know that Locksmith wasn't trading CP in his server? And then that would have justified, and then that would have fully justified the red button thing. So I'm kind of just saying that I doubt that people are coming consistent on what they're saying in chat. And then here's kind of another big thing, which, pretty much every time it was brought up, I always just kind of restated what was actually true, which, doesn't really matter in this internet space. Is like the being a catcher full time, right? Like some kind of, I think like some people, like there was like a narrative going around that I quit my job and then to be a catcher full time, and then I'm not really sure. If anything, the only thing I've ever said was that was a goal. That was a goal. I do have other obligations, including work. But yeah, this is kind of just yeah, this is kind of just like one thing I'll kind of get into is I'm actually going to get into is what my actual plans are. Instead of kind of just playing this weird game of just kind of not saying anything, like what are they actually are. So yeah, and as far as like exposing, I like anytime I do a catch, I do court updates and I do get the information out there, but it's kind of a fact when you do like a court update video, it's just they won't literally see that video where I probably broke down the entire case, and then they'll act like I didn't talk about that entire case and that entire situation. But my expectations are on the ground, so I'm not surprised by that. You know, I mean, what shows more surprise? But yeah, this is kind of just you know, my grievances that I'm airing out a little bit. But here's kind of my actual plans. There's kind of one big thing. So I've decided to absorb the editing and creative aspects of like actually putting out, you know, like the content aspect of catches where people like, you know, watch an edited form. And my thing is to make sure it gets to a point where I feel it's good enough to put out. And the form is going to kind of be more of showing, you know, the catch and then cutting back to, you know, me discussing the catch and then discussing back to the chat logs. I really like that format. But the other kind of like, you know, full versions will kind of just be on other platforms. But that's kind of what I want to go with for YouTube. But here's a deliverable. All right. So it's the 15th. This is going to be the kind of the start of the train. Is I'm putting out like a documentary kind of video that I'm finishing up. I'm sure, like, you know, like what I actually say, like right here, will be like twisted and clipped, or maybe I don't know. Maybe you guys will just use AI. You know, like why not? To say like actually, I bet this is what they're gonna say, because I'm putting out like a 10 to 15 minute documentary style video. I bet they're gonna say that I was actually this is gonna be like the biggest Netflix documentary. Like I just booked a deal with Netflix, right? And that's gonna be the story. You know, like regardless of anything I actually say. But nonetheless, I'm working on a video, 10 to 15 minutes. The concept of the video is kind of just about how DAs don't take predator catcher cases. It's edited at what I would say is a sufficient level that I feel is starting to become ready to put out. And my deliverable is I will at least be coming out with that by the end of the month, if not sooner. That's my actual plan. And then the catches that are published will take a similar format. Now, if there's people that I trust, and that is a very important word, you know, and I decide that, I am looking for people to check it out. There are a lot of people, you know, that have been giving me feedback. But if anything, people are interested in seeing what that's about. I'm definitely willing to you know, get some feedback on that. But again, not everyone. And if anything, I see kind of more of the decoying and operational aspect of that would be something I would want to delegate. But I kind of have decided that I want to more take on the editing role as far as that goes. And no, it will not be Spokes, and nor would I ever have him as an editor or anything. Seriously, and I can actually say that, like, I'll say this. I believe I'm a better editor. I do, straight up. And there's a lot of things you have to have in mind. You have to like censor out the right things. Um, yeah, and only people that I trust will actually give me like truthful, good feedback. Even like truthful, useful feedback, rather. Because yeah, if you just show it to someone that's trying to take you down, then obviously they're just gonna say shit. You know? No, I believe that straight up. I believe that my editing, as far as it will come out, will be better. I mean, like, it's not really that hard to just clip a bunch of stuff that aren't directly against terms of use on YouTube, and then just like clip a couple videos and have some kind of captions on it. That's not that hard to do. But like, yeah, like what I'm doing is way harder than that. I would easily say that. God damn. Fire truck. Fire truck. Alright. Nah, it's a fire truck, bro. Yeah, so I live like dab near in the middle of the city. Yeah, I'm getting swatted. But yeah, something, I mean, and kind of just like one other thing is I do have catches lined up where it's kind of at a point where I just pretty much need to get them. I'll see that. And I believe me. I'll just speak in generalities as far as that goes. And I do got that video coming out. And basically, catches will take that format. So I can easily say that's what my plans are. Generally. Oh no, there will be live catches. There will be live catches. I'm gonna be putting out, like, I'm talking about like video, like edited videos I put out, but I'm gonna be going live on Fireside. Yeah, I'm not giving any kind of number or anything like that. A catch is a catch. So yeah, that's about it. Well, actually, as far as like one area of delegation that I might have is decoying. I would be looking for someone that is able to decoy as a girl, and I would pay them. I would say even just eyeballing it, it would be somewhere in the ballpark of $100 a catch. You know, and there wouldn't need to be like any reliance on believing like whether I'd follow through on that because I'd be willing to, give in advance or anything because I am very serious about that. Like if I decided to pay someone, I pay them. If there's an agreement to pay them, I do pay them. Yeah, to get more catches, absolutely. Yeah, if catches lined up, and then I get a decoy to then get more catches. Yes, that's how this works. Yes. So yeah, I love the analytical skills of the community. They it's like they think certain things are contradictions when they're not. Get pays twice as much as CPP. I didn't know CBP. I didn't know CBP pays them. $99 times more. It's like they're getting paid. But yeah, but straight up though, another thing, you know, I'm kind of always gonna be like saying the truth, like going live. I think we could have good lives, coming out. But I don't believe in welcoming in bad faith actors. Like they can, like, yeah, their free speech is they can hit the road on their own channel and they can go live and they can say whatever. I mean, it's not like we're actually in a free country. It's kind of just an illusion. Like we say that though, but but yeah, free speech can happen somewhere else. Gomez. I don't think I could sound like Gomez even if I wanted to. I remember like reading a post where I got the first couple lines. It said something about like, all right, it said something about like calling me a shrimp, and I was like, all right, that's at least a tangible concept. And then it went on to something about like sheep, and then after that, I had no comprehension of whatever the post was. I don't think I'm fluent in Gomez. I don't think I could do that. Yeah, and just kind of something to do. If I do hire people, like if I do hire people, I'll still be able to do my own catches, even if I'm hiring people. But the paying will be kind of like kind of what I say it will be from the start. But as the channel grows, as things scale, I believe that their kind of cut should be proportionate to it. So it would be a lot of opportunities for growth. I'll say that. If anyone, I don't know. I mean, I'll probably like kind of be mentioning that a little bit more. I kind of want to kind of take care of the couple catches I have dealing with now, but um, yeah, I'm still looking for kind of a decoy. And there is a big a much more serious scandal that I definitely have to address. Briefcase gate. Um, yeah, like I just don't know how I would be able to do a catch if I don't have a briefcase. Like it has all the nuclear codes in them, so I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. Actually, I think kind of a maybe a tradition I do is I do drop the link. Actually, I could do one of those like Russian mob pranks and just kind of. Actually, I don't know. Maybe we could just do a catch with the briefcase at one point. That would just be that might just be good content. It kind of would be a good meme to run on. That's how you get a bomb threat called on you. Actually, yeah. Come to think of it. Wait, do you mean in the stream or? Yeah, because for the record, I don't have any bombs on board. What's everyone else saying? It was sponsored by SpaceX toilet paper. Sit across from the Fred. Wait, sit across the Pred with the briefcase, open it, and start playing the B-Blades, but the Pred can't see them because of how you open the suitcase. Yeah, I guess just have my hair slicked back like a Russian mob boss, and then like show the chat logs, in a Russian accent. Like this matters we need to discuss, something like that. God, trying to think. That's really about it. Can't really think of anything else. Let's there is another topic that could be introduced. Actually, I gotta take my meds. Shit. Let's talk about the fall of the Unites. Yeah, I mean, they should have been like old news. Like I would have thought that a so-called community that cares about truth, which is bullshit. It's total bullshit. Um, would take issue with blatantly lying about cancer and trying to pressure people to give them money, but then you kind of learn that your expectations really should be on the ground where they belong. But yeah, that should have been old and done news, honestly. Bro, did you see the text? Like, just because someone say they didn't do something, like, God, like PatCon would be like if someone was like renting out the store with like a stolen TV, and like PatCon worked there, like all the dude would need to say is like, "Nah, bro, I bought it," and then they'd be able to run free. It's like it's in the text. It's in the text. Like clearly insinuating she has cancer, then making that connection to needing more money. It's like it's right there. It's inarguable. No, you don't got it. It's like if someone does say something in a text that actually means something. Like pointing to something in their head and then saying they have cancer at a cancer center and then saying they need money. It kind of is saying something. Like, God, bro. Man, this community's trash. For real. I mean, it's a lot of people in my circle I still like, but man, I don't know. It's a pretty big dumpster fire. I have a weird feeling that I'm probably getting restreamed. I probably will. Oh my god. But if she's pointing to something she's saying she has a medical symptom of, and she's back from the cancer center. Yeah, that is. If you're saying, yeah, bro, I gotta get, bro, my car is really low on gas. Hold on, I'm going to a gas station. Then you're probably getting gas. The fuck? Come on, bro. You look dumb. You're not that dumb. Can't be. I thought there was like a minimum level that you couldn't be more dumb than that. Like you actually, it's kind of like absolute zero for temperature. Like it can't get colder than that. I think, yeah, I don't know. That's too low. It's like you don't need a cancer center. You need ointment. What else do they treat at a cancer center? A cancer center, exactly. A cancer center. Yeah, maybe what's wrong with that? What did PatCon do in 2016? Can't be near schools. I'm just highlighting it at this point. Yeah. What's up, Blazing? You said on the scene, fake news coming. All right. So I think that's about it. Yeah, that's exactly it. It's clearly insinuating it. Yeah. I can imagine, like, God. Imagine if anyone else did that. Got $8,000 out of a widow. Yeah, this kind of no point in arguing. That's kind of not really the point of why I went live. So I will be ending this. I'm gonna hit this red button. It's titled "In Stream." We'll probably do this again soon. Then hit the second red button, which will conclude the stream. And hope everyone actually does well, even the liars and the tards. Happy Sunday.